Ladies and gentlemen, if you clicked on this video, you are probably familiar with GothamChess. Now, as a chess player, when you get to a decent level, you start getting asked these questions that have you played this player? Have you played Magnus Carlsen? Have you played Hikaru Nakamura? Because unlike American football, where if you are good at it, you probably have not played Tom Brady unless you are one of the top talents of your country. In chess, even if you are not at a decent level, even if you are just starting out, you can actually play one of the best players or the most famous people on the planet. So, I am going to share my game that I have played to answer this question for everybody, once and for all for everybody, because a few of my friends have been asking, have you played Gotham Chess? The answer is yes, and I am going to share with you the game. So, this game was actually played in 2021, April of 2021. At the time of this game, I am 14 years old, and Gotham Chess was not as big as he is today. He was still very big. So how I played this is a story for another video, but here is the game. The game is started with Gotham Chess, Levy's favorite opening, that is the Vienna. Now we are looking at the game from my perspective, because obviously that's what you want. Now, okay, we have the Vienna. Now the thing with the Vienna is, if you take the pawn, you actually almost completely lose the game, because after this move the knight has to go back and white gets a pretty nice lead in development. So I knew a bit of theory. That's not what I played. I played the best move, which is d5, attacking in the center, because if white were to take, you can just take back with the knight. I am messing up arrows, I'm sorry about that. You can just take back with the knight and not have those problems that you would have had you not played d5. So I played the best move. I took back with the knight. He moved out his queen, pretty standard move. He took my knight. I took his knight. He took back with the pawn. Now in this position, the best move is actually this move c5. At the time I did not know that. Now this move counters white's advancement with the move d4, so white does not get two connected pawns in the center. And okay, so if white were to, you might say, well, you can just do this. This is actually very bad, because you have this move which forces the king and the pawn, and the only way to defend is this move, after which you can play a lot of different moves like bishop here check, or the king has to go here. So the position becomes a mess for white. So that is why this move c5 is very good in this Vienna position. I did not know that. I played the Indian's choice, which is bishop e7, which is also fine, but now when white gets this move, and now I play c5. Alright, now we start developing. Now at the time I thought that I could take this pawn and do this, but I decided to go there, because obviously you see a bishop, you attack a bishop. Now I thought the bishop had to go back, because it does not make sense to trade the bishop after making two moves for my light square bishop, and both of my pawns were on light square, so I was supposed to trade my light square bishop, right? That's what I did, but as pointed out by Gotham Chess, this was a bad decision, as you would see. And in this position, actually, this is where I made my first big mistake. You look at this position and you think that, well, maybe white has a bit of a lead in development. White's queen is out, but it's not that bad of a position. So you might consider something like trading the queens, for example. And then white would probably go, I don't know, probably trade the queens or go back and continue developing. And this is a normal looking position, but I decided to castle, which, as pointed out by the engine, is a big mistake. Now it's a big mistake because it could lead to some very nasty attacks, because white's f file is open. That's what happens when you play the Vienna. And I castle into this. This is a missed win, but don't worry about that. There was nothing too crazy there. And now I play this move at 6. I played this, so anything could not come to this square, but this square was already defended, so there was no need for that. I should have just tried trading the queens, and he might have gone here or done something like that, but the game would have continued. But I play this move. I give him a hook. This is called a hook. This can be used as a target. He castle, putting this rook on this file. The engine gives it an inaccuracy, but don't worry about that. I play this move, which is also given a mistake by the engine, because I am just supposed to trade the queens. Engine is screaming for this move to be played, but I am just not playing it. I play this move knight here. He brings the rook there. Now I make this move b6, defending my pawn because it was under attack. But now what this move does is it removes the defense of this knight. Now you might think that, well, nobody in white's position is equipped enough to target this knight except this pawn. If this were to happen, then I would lose the knight, but I would probably just not take if that were to happen. But this knight is now unguarded, and this would be a big problem. So he goes there, preparing to take on h6. I go here, defending. He goes there, preparing to take on h6. Now in this position I play this, but had I played a random move like now, if I play this, you can just take this with the bishop, and well, this would be given a brilliancy by the computer, but this actually just wins the game for white, because he can play knight there and then he can bring his other rook into the game, and if I take the knight, the problem is the same. He can just bring his other rook into the game. Now probably not that way, like this. Well, anyway, it would be game over pretty soon. So that is why I play this move. He goes there, probably preparing something like knight jump or g4, g5. Anyway, now in this position I play a very weird move. Now you might look at this and say, why did you play that? Well, I just wanted to. I cannot explain this. I played king there, and then king back. So he obviously took my pawn, which is the best move. A brilliant move as given by the computer. I take back. He takes with the queen. Now I have to defend this. So I play f6. Now f6 is the best move in the position, because I don't want anything to come to this square. I don't want his rook lift. So I play this move, trying to fend off his attack. He goes here, which is a bad move. Now what he had to do is, because his knight cannot go forward anywhere, he had to come back with the knight, one step backwards to go 2 steps forward. But he did not do that. If he had gone there, that would have been almost a checkmating. Not a checkmating, that would have been almost completely winning, but he did not do it. So I get a second life, and I played this move f5, trying to bring my rook up and fend off his queen. That's what I did. So as you can see, the eval bar is completely equal. So I have defended the attack against GothamChess, and I am up a piece because he did sacrifice his bishop on this square. The attack has been nullified, and let's see, can we defend? Alright, so the attack is completely over now. After this check, I went there. He has to trade. He has to trade the queens, otherwise I bring my other rook. So that's what he did. Now the queens are off the board. So I should be completely fine in this position, right? The queens are off the board, and he just has a rook. I have a rook and a bishop. We have 4 pawns on this side. He has 3 extra pawns, and well, his pawns are doubled. So that's a huge advantage for me. My bishop could come here and grab these pawns, feast on them. I just have to defend this pawn and it will be completely alright. These pawns are never queening. These pawns are never going to become queens. I just have to defend this and it would at least be a draw. You know what I did? I blundered my pawn. That was the final dagger. Now the engine doesn't show it, but it becomes impossibly hard for a human to defend after this pawn has been taken. Which he did. He did take my pawn. Now I played this move in like 3 seconds because I just wanted to take the rooks. But I did not even consider that he would take the pawn. So he took the pawn. Now I come there trying to take the rooks again. Now engine gives some way of defending after that, but I come here trying to take. He goes there. He can go here next. He defends all of his pawns. This position, I do have an extra bishop, but I literally cannot do anything. My rook would require a lot of moves to do this, and he has 4 passed pawns in connections of 2. There is no stopping them. So I try this. I just play a move. He goes here because had I taken, there is just this move which wins back the bishop, and there is also mate in 9 because he can just promote. So I do not take. I come back. He starts pushing. He keeps pushing. He keeps pushing because after I did this, he can just push and there is no way to stop his queen. I go there with the king. He makes his queen. Then the game is now completely over. I do not resign. I let him checkmate me after playing some random moves. And this is how the game concludes. This is how the game concluded. I played Gotham in April of 2021. I was 14 years old at the time, and he defeated me in a Vienna position. I defended against his attack, but I could not defend the endgame because I lost too many pawns in the process. I hope that answers the question of have you played Gotham Chess.